freeze frame.
Good joke.
Hi friends. Guess what? Wanted to do a video that we've talked a little bit about before, but have never quite gotten into the down and dirty details. So this video is about when Kyle and I were at our lowest, and we often tell you, like, if we didn't change, we were going to die. But I don't think we actually explained just how bad it was. Losing weight, it's not just a physical thing. It's here and it's here. Fight through it. You can do it. Don't give up. I was diagnosed with sleep apnea about 2 or 3 years before Kyle and I decided to change. But before that, in my 20s, well, I was 19 in college, and I started falling asleep in college. I was sleeping at night, but I couldn't figure out, and I was tired all the time. I couldn't get enough sleep, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. I was struggling with my weight. I was eating emotionally and binge eating, but I couldn't figure it out. I would go to the doctor, I got blood work done. The doctor said, "You're fine." And then I went to a different doctor, and the doctor said, "Oh, your B12 levels are really low." So he gave me B12 shots, but nothing ever fixed it. So I started falling asleep in college. One day we were doing a workshop where we had to listen to somebody speak, and I fell asleep during that. And I was trying so hard to stay awake, and I just couldn't. And I fell asleep, and I actually failed that workshop because my teacher was upset that I fell asleep. And I tried to explain that it was a medical issue, but because I didn't have any doctor's note, he failed me. So I kept trying to figure it out, and I had no idea. I was starting to research narcolepsy. You know, I had not heard of sleep apnea. I didn't even know what it was. And I was single, and I slept by myself, so nobody was telling me that I was stopping breathing in my sleep. So, long story short, I eventually figured out I had sleep apnea. When I got tested, you know, I was falling asleep all the time. I was falling asleep standing up. And the reason is because when you have sleep apnea, your breathing literally stops. My brain was shutting down. I basically was dying all night long, on and off. 81 times per night, my brain partially shut down. I partially stopped breathing. So I wasn't sleeping because my brain was constantly going, "Oh, she's alive. Oh, she's dead. Oh, she's alive. Oh, she's dead," all night long. And then in between all of that, 7 times a night, my brain shut down completely. I literally stopped breathing. And so I got the sleep apnea machine, and I went in and I said, if an overweight person gets sleep apnea and loses weight, is there a chance that they can get rid of this machine? And the girls said, some do, some don't. And even though I didn't say it out loud, and I was nowhere ready to make that change, I said in my head, I'm gonna be one of the ones that does. I was struggling. I was embarrassed to wear the machine. It was hard to adjust to wearing something on your head, blowing all this air constantly up your nose and in your mouth to just to allow you to breathe at night. Just the fact that I needed help breathing because I had so much excess weight that was preventing me from doing that. But I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop eating. I couldn't stop binging. I couldn't stop dealing and utilizing food as my medicine. And I just wasn't ready. So I used the machine, and it helped me sleep better. But I was dependent on a machine. If I wanted to go camping, I had to get the electricity because I needed to plug my machine in. If I went to, stay overnight to visit family or friends, I had to bring this stupid machine. I had to bring water for it. I had to bring my mask. I had to bring the machine. I had to ask for a plug. And without it, I really could have died. And sometimes I forget just how serious that was, and how, you know, I could have had a heart attack at any moment because I was so heavy and I was putting so much stress on my body and my heart and my lungs. I mean, I was literally preventing my body from breathing. That's how bad it got. And I just wanted you to know, like, those are the down and dirty details. I failed classes because I was falling asleep. I went to doctors upon doctors who told me I was totally fine, even though, you know, I guess they never thought to test me for sleep apnea, even though I was almost 300 pounds. You know, the major shock for me was one day I was driving and I started to fall asleep, and I thought, oh my God, like, I stopped my car, I pulled over, and I had to sleep on the side of the road just to get myself home, just for a 10-minute drive. And that's when I went home, did the research, figured it out. The next day I got my test and got diagnosed with sleep apnea and got changes done because I wanted to be safe. I didn't want to be hurting people on the road. I knew something was wrong, and I obviously knew I had to figure it out myself. That still didn't change me. Just because you know, you might be really heavy and you might be close to death like I was, it doesn't mean you're going to be ready to change. You got to let yourself, you know, work through it and deal with it and let yourself come to the realization that you need to change and you need help when you're ready. Because if you force yourself, you might do it for a bit, but then you're gonna go right back to where you were. But I wanted you guys to know, I'm here and I'm 130 pounds smaller, and I no longer use a sleep apnea machine. I know I went to the doctor, got tested, and got cleared. The doctor said, you don't have sleep apnea anymore. That was like one of the best days of my life, knowing that I fought through it. I almost killed myself, and then I saved myself. Being overweight, it's a big deal. It's really hard on your body. But when you're stuck in that thinking, in that thought process, in the thought that you're not worth it, you can't change. It doesn't matter how scary it is that you might not be there for your family or for your kids. Like, you might go to sleep and not wake up. It doesn't matter. You're too stuck. You have to just go through that process, little steps at a time. And when you're ready, you'll be ready and you'll know it. And because you let yourself come to that realization, you will save yourself. Kyle and I saved ourselves, and you can do it. I'm sitting here today so that I could tell you that. You know, it's scary how far we let ourselves go because of how we think of ourselves. But when you realize how important you are to not just yourself, but to those around you, those who love you and care about you, you make the change. And you can do it too. You will do it too. Not you can, you will. You will when you're ready. And it's okay to not be ready. And when you're ready, you will do it. It doesn't matter how far down in the barrel you are, how close to the bottom you are. Even if you're on the bottom, sprawled out, done, you can come back from it. And we're proof. Kyle and I are proof. Because, like I said, my brain literally shut off 7 times a night. And I'm still here. Because I fought. Because I'm worth it. Because you're worth it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that you were inspired by it and that you know how much you deserve this and how worth it you are. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe because you're gonna get the muscles of doom. Bye guys.
Our complete weight loss guide is finally here. We put our heart and souls into it, friends. It has 40 family-friendly recipes. Not only is there a 2-week full meal plan for you, there is a blueprint on how to make your own. The toning moves to prevent loose skin, to tighten up the loose skin. It's all in there. Everything you will ever need to know, you ever wanted to know about how we lost weight, it is there.